What's up, guys? Cyber Houdini here, and welcome back to the State of Gaming podcast. We're back. It feels like it's been a minute. I like to wait till a nice bit of news builds up, and then we can all talk about it. Hell yes! And this one, we're 1 month away, even less than 1 month, from next gen. Can you believe it? This year has been a complete write-off, but the games have kept coming, and we are so grateful for that. And next gen seems to be on track. Now, whether or not you're going to jump in straight away, you're going to wait a little bit, either way, it's all good. It's still a really exciting time, you know. It's like a little Christmas before Christmas. This podcast we are going to dedicate to exploring the UI of both of the consoles. PlayStation 5 just recently showed theirs off, so I thought it'd be nice to dedicate maybe a shorter style podcast. These podcasts are just basically, I know you might not even want to call them a podcast, but I like to call them a podcast. It's something simple, you know. It's grassroots for something that might be coming in the future even better, you know. We all gotta start somewhere, and this is just a chance for me to put down the controller and talk video games, and I love that. That's my top fucking happiness. Gives me a happy boner. As opposed to a sad boner. Anyway, let's get away from that. Yeah, so we're gonna be going through the UI of both consoles, maybe a couple of videos they both got, and the launch lineup as well would be nice. At least we'll break it down. So yeah, nice little cheeky podcast this Saturday. Lovely. Oh yes, yeah, it's been a minute. It has been a minute. Alright, cool. Yesterday was fun. We got another win in Fall Guys. Played some Crash 4. Be good. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. It's hard to get that balance right. So I have the PS5 pre-ordered. I'm definitely gonna aiming towards that. I would like a Series S actually. That might be something I might invest next year. We'll see. I'm hoping to build a beast of a PC next year as well. I have one now, but it's not a beast. It's merely a puppy. It's a wee puppy. But yeah, I have the PS5 pre-order. Whether or not I'll get it, we have to wait an extra week here in Europe. November 19th is the actual date for us. It's a full week. I have it pre-ordered. Where we will see. I want to play all the new hotness on it. I want to play Cyberpunk on it. I want to play Spider-Man Miles Morales. I want to play it all on it and see, because I've only had the launch PS5, so I never had access to, you know, boost mode and all that. So hell yeah. Hell yes. They're both rocking very, very cool features. I'm happy to see that, you know. They're trying new things. It looks like PS5 has gone above and beyond, and I'm super happy to see that. And Xbox are doubling down on speed and this quick resume. Very, very cool stuff. Very cool. Anyway, let us not delay things any longer. Let's move on over. Alright, cool. So we're going to start off with a look at the PS5 UI, their user interface. Basically, everything they've showed off. It's all going to be... I'm going to play just the video they released, including the commentary, because I feel like if anybody's going to explain it best, it'll be those. But we can go back over. I'll pause where I see some exciting stuff, and basically just a quick little breakdown of things like that, you know. Oh yes. Alright, cool. Let's see, we keep that up, get rid of that. Alright, cool. It's just straight up little YouTube video. Hopefully. Okay, cool. Let's go. Alright, try to get these volumes right.
Hi everyone, I'm Hideaki Nishino, and I head up PlayStation's platform planning and management team, which includes product and UX design. Today, we are finally going
user
to
interface
look
experience.
At the PlayStation 5 user experience. We will see some of the features that enable games to work together with the hardware and network to deliver a truly next-generation experience.
PS5 is still a huge beast of a thing, my
PS5
goodness.
User experience is simple. We believe that your playtime is valuable and should be meaningful. PlayStation team members from all around the world work to deliver a PS5 experience.
This is exactly what's going to happen now when you turn on your PlayStation 5.
The player, connecting you with a great play and a passionate community of gamers.
Very
with
fancy.
A look and feel that's designed for 4K TVs, the PS5 user experience was built from the ground up to take advantage of the console capabilities, complementing the transformative games coming with this new generation. I should note that this video tour is from a pre-production environment on the PS5 console, so there may be a few small wrinkles or minor changes once the console launches in November. And now, let's check it out, courtesy of our own Sid Schumann.
Sid Schumann, let's go.
Thanks, Nishino-san. Welcome to your new PlayStation 5 console experience. This time, we've started up from rest mode. We've already created an account and signed into PlayStation Network, so let's log in.
Little Killzone Love. We're starting off with the new Little Big
I've
Planet, which is
right where I left off in Sackboy,
Sackboy Little Big Adventure. Yeah.
And here, we're looking at PlayStation 5's Control Center. From here, it's one click and we're
Definitely
right back
different.
into the game, but let's take a moment and look around. The Control Center is always one tap of the PlayStation button away. It provides immediate access to almost everything you need from the system.
This is almost like the
without leaving the
sidebar
game.
we used to
This
have.
includes things like
PS4.
seeing who is online, checking the status of a download, managing your controller, power, and more.
Sound, miscellaneous, party, the usual stuff. Home.
These colorful characters are called cards, and they let you interact with games and the system in a variety of ways. First, as we've just resumed, the Control Center is showing a special card that allows me to get up to date on recent stories posted by publishers for games.
Obviously, all these UI little interfaces, all these features have to be used by the devs. First party, you're going to probably definitely use them, but will third party use them? That's the question. Hey Bernie, how's it going?
Powerful new features of the PS5 console.
We're just going through
They're
the
actually just
PS5's
right in
UI
this
right
row,
now.
and we call them activities.
Hope you're having a
Activities
good
are
weekend.
part
So
of
yeah,
the
these
plan to remove
activities,
barriers to gameplay.
they're
Let's
almost
get an
like
example
little
of one way they're
side
used in Sackboy:
trophies
A Big
for
Adventure.
games.
With a tap of the PlayStation button, I'm back to playing the game. Sackboy: A Big Adventure is packed with things to discover, and each level represents one type of activity I can play.
I can't wait to
many
play
of
this.
which I can go back to later to discover more. I tap the PlayStation button to bring up the Control Center again. I can see a number of available activities, both active and suggested by
Pretty
the
crazy,
system.
this.
Let's take this first one, A Big Adventure. as an
Good. Got a
example.
crown. Nice,
I can
dude.
see
What
that I
game
haven't
was it?
quite completed this level yet. I'm at 33%. Let's open it up and see more. Here I can see more information, including key objectives I haven't met. And I'm seeing a very important piece of information.
So they were saying they were going
It
to
says about
do
10
something with
minutes
trophies,
left.
and it
This
looks like this is
PlayStation
part
5's
of it.
personalized playtime estimate.
We all got
giving
a
me an
big
idea how
update
long it will
recently
take
for our
me to
PS4s.
complete this activity.
Most people just saw it as them adding
Some
the
activities even let you jump directly to that place in the game.
voice recording, basically. Hey, Proper, how's it going, dude? Just going over the
But there's more to
UIs for
see
the next-gen
For
consoles.
another example, let's open that activity back up.
Weirdly enough, when I first saw this, it made me think of how the Xbox used to have the snap feature. It used to have picture-in-picture for like things like
Looks like
Netflix,
I
which I
missed
loved,
an
and they got rid of
objective
it.
to find
But
the
lo and behold, the
Monroe
PS5 is going to have
costume piece.
a lot of
Looks like I need a
picture-in-picture.
little help. Some in-game activities, like this one, offer official.
How's
game
everyone's
help.
weekend going?
Game help
Just
is
thought I'd get a
included as
cheeky
benefit
little.
for active
I don't think
PlayStation
this will
Plus
be a very
members
long
in some
podcast.
PS5 games. In this case,
Just something. I wanted
can
to break
open
this
up that
stuff down,
objective to get some
have a
hints
talk about it.
without resorting to a web search.
We've got some
or
stuff
digging
over on the
through
Xbox
long
side as well,
videos
of
or
course.
Articles that might contain spoilers. This particular hint is a video, and I can play it here in the card, and I can expand it to get.
So
a
I could
bigger
already
view
tell a lot of the
the game.
YouTuber guide
Sometimes
people
it's
who do
really
guides
useful
and
to be
trophy
able to
guides
see
and all
the
that.
hint on
They
screen
were
while
starting to
you play.
sweat a little bit when they
Some
saw
cards
this.
can be put in a picture-in-picture mode.
Now, who
or
creates
show
this? That's
you
the
a
question. Is it
side-by-side view.
gamers? Is it the devs themselves?
And if you pin a card, you can access it via the Control Center at any time.
This is
Now
crazy.
let's go find those rascally monk robes.
The fact that the game is going on in
Thanks,
the background the
Game
whole time is pretty impressive.
The team at PlayStation wanted to make it really easy to chat with
So
your
one
friends
thing
on
that came with the new
PlayStation
PS4 update
So let's
was
check out how it works.
everything is now being
Here,
labeled.
I'm
So
opening an
even though
interactive
only the
notification
PS4
with
is
the tab of the
available, you
PlayStation
now have an
button.
icon next to
And
your
I've
name that
decided
says
to join the voice
PS4.
chat that my
So you can
friend
tell
just
they're getting ready
Now,
to
my friend could have
implement
done
like
this on
cross
PlayStation
chat,
app for
cross
mobile
play with
devices, from
PS5,
a
PS4.
or in this case, from a PS5.
It's pretty clever.
The DualSense controller features
It's all about the
an
little
integrated
features, you know.
microphone,
People
too,
go
so I
apeshit
can
over
start
the big
talking right
ones,
away.
but
I
you
always
look
have
under the
ability to
surface,
hit the
they're
mute
getting
button on the
things prepped.
controller or in the menus.
There's a very small chance that I will get this for launch. I have it pre-ordered, but things are going crazy.
Parties
I might have
take
more
on an
chance
expanded
actually just
role
walking
with
into a
PS5,
store and getting
And they
one.
now provide persistent spaces to connect with groups that you play with. Here I have a couple of friends chatting away in the party. One of them has started sharing their screen with the group.
What share screen? So share screen and
Looks
share
like
play
they're
probably are
playing
coming back.
Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. We can chat
He's
while
playing
we play,
Uncharted Lost
and I
Legacy.
can
He
watch
might be
his
playing that on
progress as well.
PS4. That's what I was thinking. Seems to be fantastic quality. Just There it is, just going away there.
This
My
is
God.
another card that can be put in picture-in-picture mode, or
Look at that.
pinned to the side while you play.
I know
You
my
can access
screen
it
is
anytime
cutting it
via the
off a little bit,
Control
but
Center
yeah.
too, but let's dismiss it for now.
So that kind of looks like maybe what they'll do with the
Okay, let's
HD
review.
camera as
So
well.
far,
You see
we've
the way
seen
it
how
had the
activities on
segments
PS5 will make
where you
it
could put the
easier
camera.
and faster
They
to
have
hop
not
back into
showed
PS5
off the
games.
capabilities of
And
the
how you
streaming
can get in-game
on
help and chat with
either
your
of the
friends.
next-gen
So that
consoles.
leaves
The only thing we
online
know for
multiplayer
sure is that the
games.
Xbox
Let's check
Series
it out.
X will allow for 4K
I see that
60
some of my friends are
streaming
online,
and
so it's
capture.
time to say
Not
goodbye
that
to
Twitch
Sad
is
Boy
anywhere
for
near
now
there
and
yet, but
spin up a
it's
match
nice
of
to kind of know
Destruction
that.
All-Stars.
At least
One of
it
my
is
friends in the party
future-proof.
has already started a match.
I wouldn't
and
doubt
you can
that the
join them from
PS5
this
will do the
card in
same.
Control Center.
So he's gonna launch the game and join the game all from this
And there we
control
go.
center.
Destruction All-Stars now quickly starts.
Like I
thanks
said,
to
it's basically like the
PS5's
sidebar on the
ultra-high-speed
PS4 when you
SSD.
hold down the PS button. But now it seems to be way
Okay,
more
I think we've got
integrated
enough people on our
into
party, so let's
the
jump
console.
in. We're keeping the focus on PS5's user experience.
This looks like a fun
today, so
game, kind of
let's zip
Rocket
ahead
League
so we
meets
can see
Destruction
more.
Derby. I like it. You can get out of the car and beat the crap out of each other. Destruction All-Stars,
Just
it
like
is a
that,
launch game.
We're in.
It's made by a
We don't
small
have time to play a full
studio,
match
I think they're
today,
called
but I do think we have time to
Wushu
take a
Studios.
quick photo.
And one of the guys
do
working
that,
for them
I'll
is
just tap
actually
the create button on the
Shinobi602. You
DualSense
might know him. He's been
PS5
fairly
is
good at
always capturing recent
know,
gameplay. But when
some
you
good
compose a
takes
shot, even
on
using in-game
news,
photo
even
mode,
some
you
news
can
a little bit
capture a
early.
high-quality screenshot
Wouldn't say
here.
he's like a leaker
This
or anything, but
optimizes
he's
capturing
a good
the
dude.
moment,
Give him a follow.
letting you review and choose to share later on. I should mention, screenshots and video can
There's
be
a couple of
captured
dudes
at
like
up to
that where
4K
they're
on
kind of
the
getting
PS5
big
console.
off a leak here and there.
Okay, so far we've shown off how to jump into
those things can
activities,
either make or
how
break
to chat
you.
with your friends, get into groups together to play, capturing gameplay, all of that while in game. But what if I want to play a different game?
Something else I've noticed, I was talking about it yesterday. So here you go,
Welcome
here's
to
the
PlayStation
actual
5
home screen.
This is where you'll land when you start up from a powered-off state.
This is different
and
than the
where you'll
control
go
center they were
when you
talking
wanna
about.
choose a
This
new
is
game to
definitely
play or
far more
download.
familiar
The
for
layout of the
PS4
space
owners.
is designed to present games and game
You
content
see the bar,
beautifully on a 4K
Your
display.
games, your
With
PS
simple
Plus.
and
One thing I'm
super-fast
super
access
excited
to
about
what you
is
need. And in case you're wondering,
the PS
media-related
Store is
apps
now
will have their own
integrated
space like this one. But today
into
we're focused on games.
the UI.
Each
No
game has its own
fucking
hub completely
3-5
integrated,
second
so
loading
all you
screen
need
just to
do
start
is
the
scroll
blade
down
thing,
to
you
see
know?
activities you can jump right into. Video clips, stories about the game, DLC.
It's cool. A
and
lot of the PS4 games had
backward
this too. I was just showing you
compatible
guys
PS4 titles will
Killzone
benefit from
Shadowfall.
some of these
It
features
still
too.
has a lot of the little activities down there.
Let's
Now
move
that's a
from
lot of that
one
stuff has
spot
been
to
lost
another
over the
and
7
check out
years of the
Explore,
console generation.
which
of
brings
course.
together all your games. We saw a view of this.
I'm hoping
from
to
the
get
Control Center
the headset
earlier,
and
another view
the camera,
will
but
also be
it's
in the new
super tough to
PlayStation
get
app
any
for
of
mobile
stuff.
devices.
I want to test out everything
Explore
for me
keeps
and for you
in the
guys
loop
too.
With official stories from PlayStation and from all
Stream
the games
straight
you're
from the
following,
console, give
including
you a feel
trending
for what
media
we're
from the
dealing with, you
community.
know.
We'll be
I
testing
know a lot of
and learning
people
about this feature in the US at launch.
are not going to get
so
a
not
PC
everyone
right
will
away. They
have
want to
this
just
on day one.
stick to
But
console
it
and they
gives
want to
you a
know
good
about
idea
these
of the
features.
direction.
So I would love to do that. That's definitely
This
something
is
on the cards. If
PlayStation Store
all
for
going well, I
PS5.
get one
It's
early.
completely
I'll be the
integrated
guinea
into the
pig. I'll
system.
be the guinea
It's not a
pig.
standalone app anymore.
Cool, so you
Browsing
see
for
that
new
each game
games
has
to
its
play
own
will
little
be
splash
easier
screen.
thanks to
Lovely,
the
right?
PS5
Ratchet and Clank
and
Rift
more
Apart. Can't
personalized
wait for
store
that.
experience.
That's obviously not come until
And
like early
here,
next
you'll
year,
be
so
able
it's
to
nice to
browse the
see it
latest
there.
games and deals.
You see
You'll
Godfall
find
down the
PS5
bottom,
games and
NBA
many
2K21,
backward-compatible
FIFA 21,
PS4 games, too.
and then the PlayStation Plus
I'm sad to
collection,
say, but we
which
are
is
almost out of
PlayStation's
time.
way
So let's
of
pull up Control Center
combating
one more time
Game
with the tap
Pass.
of the PlayStation
It'll give
button.
you 15
On
of the
our way out,
PlayStation's exclusives
why don't we
for
quickly share
free
that
as
photo
soon as
we
you
took
turn
in
on that
Destruction All-Stars.
PS5.
You can
All, of
find
course, with
recently captured
updates,
media in this
boost
handy
mode,
card in
beautiful,
Control
crisp
Center.
4K
From
modes,
here,
whatever
we
you
can do
want.
some quick edits, but I think I'm
Well,
ready to
obviously,
share
they're
it
all
right
getting
now.
their own little
On
updates right
PlayStation
now
5, I have
to
the
show that. So
option
it's
to
really
share
cool.
videos and images to supported external services, or I can send them directly to one of my parties.
So yeah, we have
Remember,
similar stuff like
parties
this on
are
the
bigger
PS4
than
where you
just
can,
voice chat now.
any
So
screenshots
I'll
you
select
take, you
one of my
can send them
favorite
straight to the
parties
party and Twitter and all that.
Let's attach a quick message here. The DualSense
Here's
controller
something
makes
cool.
this really easy. PlayStation 5 supports voice dictation in a number of languages, so you no longer have to type messages with the keyboard.
That's
if you
never
don't
going to
want
work for my accent,
Simply
but still,
select the
isn't that
microphone
great?
button.
So we have
Here's a cool
text,
detail.
or
If
speech
my
to
friend
text,
hasn't yet
basically.
played the activity where I captured this media.
Because we all
The
know how
game's
annoying
developer thinks that
the
activity might contain
keypads on
spoilers.
both consoles
They'll
are,
receive
right?
a
It's
warning before they view it.
nonsense.
Well, that's it for our demo. There are many more exciting features.
I know
we
I
couldn't
talked
get
over
to
a good
today,
bunch of that.
but we're
Yeah, I
super
didn't
excited
really
to share
miss
more
anything. I can
with
go back to the
PlayStation 5
store
and
where he
PlayStation
talks
App
about the
users.
store, maybe. Here we go.
And this is PlayStation Store for PS5. It's completely integrated into the system. It's not a standalone app anymore.
It's right there.
Browsing
When
for new games to
he's
play
in it right
will
now.
be easier
All
thanks
them
to the
tiles
speed of
there. I hate
PS5
being
and a more
reversed.
personalized store experience.
It's all there.
And here, you'll be able to browse the latest games and deals. You'll find PS5 games and many backward-compatible PS4 games, too. I'm sad to say, but we are almost out of time.
He never
So let's pull
explores
up
it
Control Center
officially,
one more
though.
time with
So
the tap of the
that thing's
PlayStation
probably wait and see,
On our
I'd
way
say.
out, why don't we
PS Store has
quickly
always
share that
been
photo we
rickety
took in
thing
Destruction
built on,
All-Stars? We
you
can
know,
find recently
shambles
captured media
sometimes.
in this handy card in Control Center. From here,
just
we
about
can do
works.
some quick edits, but I think I'm ready to share it right
Yeah,
now.
very, very cool.
On PlayStation
You did a
5,
good
I
job
have the
there. It's
option
always
to share
nice, even
videos
if it
and
is
images to
probably
supported
not
external
completely
services,
final.
or I can send
We're
them
pretty close.
directly
We're
to
less
one
than a
of my
month
parties.
out. We're talking it's the
Remember,
17th now.
parties are
We're
bigger
talking
than
like
just
the,
voice
was
chat
it the
now.
12th?
So I'll
12th
select
for
one of my favorite
12th of November
parties
for PS5, 10th of November
Let's
for
attach a
Xbox
quick
Series X,
message
and the
here.
19th of
The
November
DualSense controller
for
makes this
EU.
really easy.
For EU.
PlayStation 5
We gotta wait an
supports
extra
voice
week because
dictation in a
PlayStation be
number of
crazy.
languages, so you no longer have
Yeah, I think
to
they did a
type
great job
messages
with that. We got to
the
see a
keyboard
nice
if you
little
don't
chunk of
want to.
Little Big
Simply
Planet. I
select
keep
the
calling it Little Big
microphone
Planet.
button.
Sackboy's Big
Here's a cool
Adventure.
detail.
Hello,
My
OGG.
friend
Happy
hasn't yet
Happy
played the
Saturday. How's it
activity,
going, lads?
but I
Happy
captured
weekend.
this media.
Thought I'd get a
The
little cheeky
developer
stream in
thinks that
here.
activity might
We're just
contain spoilers.
breaking down the
They'll receive a warning
PS5's
before they
UI.
do it. Well, that's
I'm
it for our
happy enough
demo.
with it right now. The
There are
store,
many more
thank
exciting
God, is
features we couldn't get to
oh, you can't really see it down there. So yeah, he's got a couple of things down there. Look,
today.
pretty similar.
We're
Anything
super
else
excited to
here?
share
See,
more
the startup
on
is
PlayStation
very
5 and
fancy.
PlayStation
They're
app
going
user
for that
experience with
PS3 style, almost orchestra.
What deliver a
See, that's how it's
PS5
going to start up. Now I know it's a
that is
little bit stretched.
completely
Please
centered
excuse
on
that.
the
I've
player,
done that to try and
connecting you
hide
with a great
because we're
player
just watching a
and
YouTube video.
passionate community of gamers.
Anyway,
With a look and feel that's
now watch now.
designed for
He
4K
presses
TVs,
this. And
the
it takes him
PS5
straight
user
back into
experience was
game,
built from
not
the
even to
ground
the
up to take
home
advantage
menu.
of the console capabilities, complementing the transformative
People have been
games
saying that
coming with
they
this new
have a
generation.
similar thing to
I should note
Xbox's
that
quick
the
resume,
is from a
but I think it's
pre-production
just the
environment on the
SSD
PS5 console,
just being
so
that
there may
quick,
be
you
a
know.
few
Both of them
small
are now
details
rocking
or
custom
minor changes
SSDs,
once
no
the
more
console
messing around.
launches in November.
People on PC obviously have been rocking
And now,
SSDs for a
let's
few
check
years
it
now,
out.
easy.
Courtesy
Yeah, a lot of people
our
go
own
for the
section.
hybrid setup, so you got your SSD doing the
Thanks, Nishino-san.
UI or your
Welcome to your
OS
new
and
PlayStation
maybe a
5
couple of
console
games,
experience.
and then your
This time,
hard
we're
drive
starting up
keeps
from
the
rest
bulk
mode.
of
We've
all
already
your
created
stuff,
an
you know,
account
that you
inside
don't
of the
need
PlayStation
to
Network,
have
so let's
on
log in.
tap straight away. So yeah, I have a hybrid system as well. I have a very small SSD, but I do notice the
In
difference.
this case, I've resumed right where I left
The
off
only
with
issue with both of them
Sackboy
having
and Big Adventure.
proprietary
And here,
SSDs,
we're looking at
the
PlayStation
one
5
issue is
Control
that
Center.
they're going to be
Here's
selling
one click and we're right back
expansion
into the game,
SSD
but let's take a
when it's
moment
going to
and
be
look around.
extremely expensive. You know, we're talking
Control
about
Center is always one
the
tap of
Xbox One
PlayStation
alone
button.
is almost 80% the
Provides
cost
immediate
of a
access to
Series
almost everything you need
S.
from the
It's over
system
$200
without leaving the game.
when you can buy a
This
Series
includes
S
things like seeing who's
for
online,
$300.
checking the status of a
So it's just
download,
kind of silly,
managing the
right?
controller,
You could nearly
power,
just buy another console and give it to your fucking nephew or something. Yeah, so that's kind of mad. On the Fireside, they
These
want
colorful
their
characters
Xbox are staying with
cards, and
Seagate.
they let
They've
you interact
basically
with
collaborated
games
with
and the
them.
system in a
You got to
variety
use
of
their
ways.
stuff. On the
First, as we
Fireside,
just resumed,
a little bit unusual for
Control Center
PlayStation,
shows
who
a
like their
special card that
proprietary
allows
stuff.
me to get up to
They're
date
going
on
for,
recent
as long
stories
as it's
posted by
third party and it
publishers for
meets
games I am
the
following.
required speed and specs, they'll have all
Another
that
card
stuff.
here
It'll be
shows
like
me
PS5
recent
ready
media
and
I've
all that.
captured from my
As long as it's like that,
using
you're
the
good to
Create
go.
button
But I
on the
do think you
DualSense
may
controller.
have to
Let's check out
open
one of
up
the
your
most powerful
PS5
new
to
features of the
replace it. It
PS5
has
console.
a
They're actually
expansion
just to the right in this row, and we call
dock,
them
basically. It's a
activities.
little area you can
Activities
slot
are
it in
part of
almost
the
like a
plan to
battery
remove barriers
on a
to
laptop or
gameplay.
something like that.
Let's
It
get an
seems simple
example of
enough.
one way they're
We can
used
have a
in
look a
Sackboy
little
and
bit
Big
at the
Adventure.
teardown of the PS5.
With the tap of
The
the
most
PlayStation
interesting
button
part
and
is
tap
how
to
they
play
get
the
those
game.
huge
Sackboy
manta
and
ray
Big
fins
Adventure
off.
is
I mean, that's
packed with things
the only
to
way of
discover,
putting it.
and each
The
level
PS5, without a shadow of doubt, there's no escaping it. It is a huge bitch. That's a huge bitch. It's massive. It's almost, in terms of height alone, it's almost a half of the Xbox Series X again on top of it, you know, like 150%. It's crazy. No one has yet to actually put two and two together. They've drawn up all these cool little 3D models and lovely Photoshop stuff, but until we see them in the wild and put them side by side, it's very hard to get a look at both of them. The teardown for both systems is actually really cool because you get to see how different things are. With Sony, they've tried to combat the the constant issue of the noisy fan in both the PS4 and PS4 Pro. You know, a lot of people are saying that, oh, just take it out and clean it. That's fine. It only lasts a little while. The issue is heat. It's always been heat, and it always will be heat. We have these problems with everything. The SSDs becoming this mainstream go-to solution. There's one little problem with that. Like, they're a solid state drive. There's no moving parts, but it is super hot. It generates an amazing amount of heat. It's crazy. So they've had to come up with their own solutions for heat dissipation, you know? And that can come down to your heatsink, how big your fan is, where your fan is positioned, how many fans you have, you know? The idea is obviously the bigger the fan, the more heat it can get out without spinning as fast. The big issue as well on the old gen consoles, on both of them, was the thermal paste, as they call it. There's a couple of names for it. It's basically the stuff they put on it that will basically keep it cool, you know. But when you mass produce something, you're going to be cutting some corners. You're going to have robots putting things together, and what happens is you're not going to put enough of this thermal paste and other stuff on it, you know. You're going to have a lot of stuff like that happen. So I know a lot of people who have, even with their PS4 Pros, they're just super fucking loud. You go and spend $400 on a machine, and you have to keep it outside like a bad dog. Hello, Jenna, how's it going? Is that what I think it is? Oh no, I thought you had an emote. Ah, that's a lovely one. I have HDDs for storage, SSDs for game and OS. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going for. Now, to bring me back to SSDs, thank you, OGG. The issue is, like hard drives, you're not getting the full capacity. There's always been this thing. No one will ever just sit down and say why this is, but when it comes to hard drives and solid state drives, no matter if they say a terabyte, you're not going to get close to that, you know? And it's always been said that it's for reserve space for whatever, OS or whatever. I mean, you can't be reserving 200 gigs. Like, that's insane. So, when it comes to the PS5, they've said that straight off the bat, it's not a 1 terabyte drive. It's like 864, I want to say, something like that. Who knows if that'll be the final. So that's how much you're going to get out of that. On the other hand, with Xbox, now that people have them in their hand, they see, and that's coming in. They're advertising it as a 1 terabyte SSD, but I think there's only a 820. So they're pretty close, but the fact remains that you're almost losing 200 gigs. I just don't know why. I don't know why. I know there's a lot of stuff in the background we don't know, but that seems so silly to me. So straight away, in a world where you've got Modern Warfare, 120 gigs, Halo Master Chief Collection, 98 gigs and counting, you know. What in the name of God is going on with these hard drives? If I was them, I really would have pushed for, you know, 2 terabyte minimum. Now, I know custom SSDs is probably the most expensive piece of kit that is in both of these consoles. This is something that went through rigorous R&D over years, you know. It's their own proprietary stuff. I'm surprised they don't have them all trademarked up and patented. Yeah, they probably do have them all patented, let's be honest here. They're big corporations. So you can imagine if it's something they've built from the ground up. But it just sucks. I would have aimed for 2 terabytes, but in a world of consumerism and capitalism, they want you to buy those expansion packs. They want you to buy those SSDs, those $200 fucking SSDs. Anyway, hopefully with SSDs now being everywhere, absolutely everywhere, they're now in all the consoles now. Hopefully that will bring the prices down. We'll get into some, you know, mass production on every side. Even of their proprietary stuff, you know, the Seagate stuff. So hopefully, and it kind of leads to, you know, the possibility of them going on sale as well. So you just got to keep, same as you're doing now with hard drives and SSDs and all that. Just keep an eye out, you know. But damn, it's crazy that just 1 terabyte just seems crazy to me. Anyway, so over here we've got, let's see if I can move this. Boop. There we go. So this is the official PlayStation 5 page. I just want to break down some of the stuff. Obviously, they have that advertisement. It's not a great advertisement. It doesn't show off too much. But, yeah, just kind of... They're really pushing for this 3D audio, this Tempest audio, which is supposed to be inside the console itself. So, even if you're using, like, silly little earbuds like me, it's supposed to have that 3D audio. We'll see about that. There they are pushing that ultra high-speed SSD. It's crazy. I think that's going to be the differentiating thing between both of the consoles. You know, the one, like, they're both going to be pretty fast, but they're going to handle games and stuff differently. As great as it's been to see Xbox buying up big developers, you know, really pushing for a hell of a generation, they've nothing to show right now. You know, we're 2 to 3 years out for the really blockbusters. You know, Halo's not going to be able to support you for very long, Halo Infinite next year. But on the other hand, you've got Sony, who basically positioned the whole generation to fire on all cylinders, and it was a masterstroke, absolute masterstroke. At any one year, they were putting out minimum of 2 big blockbuster exclusives, and you can't deny that. You cannot deny it. It doesn't matter what camp you're in, you can't deny that they've really been doing some amazing stuff. And that's definitely bolstered in the sales with the PS4, which are over like 100 million easy, which is crazy. So hopefully they'll continue on that. And now you see the studios that fired off those massive blockbusters are now reloading the chamber. You know, we've got a new God of War coming, God of War Ragnarok. We've got Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Horizon Forbidden West. We've got Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I know Insomniac are deep working on Spider-Man 2. Big sequel, Venom coming at you. I've heard a lot of crazy stuff about that. What else have they got? They've also, like, Insomniac was one of the best purchases that Sony's made probably in the last fucking decade or two. Brilliant studio, one of my favorites. You know, almost 30 years of non-stop incredible games. Even up to just recently with Spider-Man, Sunset Overdrive, incredible new IP that I hope we see again. And of course, Ratchet and Clank, they brought that back with a brand new bag, and it's so cool. So they're positioning Spider-Man Miles Morales and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart early next year. That's incredible. That's 2 huge games that kind of all fun for all the family kind of thing, which is brilliant as well, which is great. So you've got that going. You've got Bluepoint, who are doing the Demon's Souls remake. That's the one and only official PS5 exclusive, you know, first party exclusive. The rest can be played on PS4. That's why a lot of people want to wait, and I completely understand that. Both Sony and Xbox are trying to push this whole idea of 120 frames, 120 hertz, which I think is just crazy. A couple of games will have it. I think Fortnite, Dirt 5 will have 120 frames a second. There's that beautiful Falconeer game, which almost feels like one of those airplane simulators where you're playing a giant falcon. Jesus, why the hell can I not spit that out? A jalkin. What the fuck is a jalkin? Anyway, so yeah, and then there you go. Like, they're talking about 8K as well, but 120 frames. I think that's madness. That's the ballpark. That's crazy. You know, I would be happy for 60 frames to become the standard. I really think it's time. We've been messing around with it a good bit, especially the last couple of years of the generation where you have the choice of pushing 60 frames. But yeah, I'm not a big believer myself in 4K. I've said this enough, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it took me long enough just to get a freaking 1080p TV, you know. I don't value resolution over performance. I never will. It's just me, you know. But I'm not pushing for 120 frames either. I think that's craziness. I think that is just something very flashy just to put on the box, basically, you know. But yeah, you'll definitely see some games at the start, but I think that'll dwindle down. The problem I have is when we start to get into the 2nd and 3rd year of next generation, you start to see some incredible games, absolutely incredible. That's really, I always feel like around the 2nd or 3rd year is when the developers have become comfortable with the architecture and they're really just playing around, and that's when you get those gorgeous new IPs. But will that new fidelity come at a cost? Will we push back down to 30 frames for that cinematic experience? That was the bullshit they used to taught when fucking, you know, they were doing like Uncharted and all this. They were like, oh, 30 frames, it's cinematic. My bollocks. I went back and played the Uncharted games, the collection, at 60 frames, and it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. To have that kind of smoothness, and it really does help with things like input lag and that. You're way more responsive. It does, for anyone who's never really experienced 60 frames, it does kind of break your brain. And I can only imagine what it's like when you go beyond that. You know, for anyone with a beast of a PC, they're laughing in frames per second right now. Hundreds and hundreds. One time I was playing a game and it went up to 900 frames a second. I think I broke it. Anyway, liquid cooling for CPU and GPU. Yeah, that's really cool. That's what that's brilliant. Now the PS5 is going for an absolute chunk of a heatsink. Nearly the full amount of the PS5's frame is in the heatsink. They've gone for a liquid metal thermal solution for their for the heat. Like, it's crazy. Now, apparently, like, a lot of people have done a good bit of research around that, and there has been issues with liquid metal. The fact of the matter is that once it starts like drying out, the whole thing is gonna. So that's kind of worrisome. We'll see about that. But they've obviously done their homework. We're talking about Sony, you know. They've definitely fallen a little bit in terms of their build quality over the years, just in terms of everything. You know, the phones are pretty much kaput. Their TVs are hanging on by a string, you know. They're not the hardware manufacturer I think they used to be. And not in a bad way. I just think they've focused in different areas. Anyway, then you got Microsoft, who, you know, do not ever want to repeat that billion-dollar mistake that was the Red Ring of Death. The 360s all failed around the world, and Steve Ballmer at the time, who was basically Bill Gates' right-hand man, he said, like, no matter how much they make back, all that's ever on the bottom line was that $1 billion it took to fix that problem. That's crazy, right? It's like going back to the drawing board. Avoid, let's see, so what did you say there? I saw a 480 gig SSD for 55 US. That's brilliant. Holy shit. That's great. My God. You probably only fit about 4 or 5 games on it, but damn, dude, that's great. That's great news. I'm super happy about that. All right, let me find this. I'll very quickly have a look at find the teardown of the PS5. I just think it was interesting. I'm not going to look at it all because it does go on a bit, but we'll have a look. We'll have a quick little look, see, yeah. It was really cool just watching them break it down. The guy that got to break it down was obviously one of the chief architects, so he knew exactly what he's doing. And just watching him move was almost like watching a chef prepare a meal. It was impressive. But I just want some things I want to show you is the liquid cooling, and I want to show you not liquid cooling, the liquid metal thermal solution, and the heatsink. I want to show you this beast of a heatsink. It's insane. It's really cool. I know I'm kind of focused on PlayStation. We will get to Xbox's stuff now in a minute. Watching the best channel, if you're interested on specs and how games run, the best channel out there, true Eurogamer, of course, is Digital Foundry. These guys, they are experts. You know, they've got all the technology they need. They're able to catch every single frame. They pretty much do their own version of a review of every game, basically a performance review of each game, and I enjoy it. You know, very cool. They're British as well. Very cool to you know, see that everyone around the world is kind of using them, you know. Here you go. Here's this big beast. This is the PS5. Like, this is the Godzilla of consoles. Hello, Dynamite and Pyro. How's it going, lads? I thought I'd do a little cheeky stream here. We're already going half an hour. Won't be going much longer. I'm just going to have a quick little look at this guy. So we looked at the UI for the PS5 at the start. I'm sorry if you missed it. Wasn't a whole lot. The video is available on YouTube. He's talking in Japanese. But this is one of the chief architects. So, there you go. So, they are going to push USB Type-C, which is good. It's very fast. Let's see. So, there's one on the front. Super speed. Oh, damn. Type A. And we got 2 on the back. Nice. We got the Ethernet port there. And the HDMI where my thing is blocking it. Sorry. Alright, so you got your ports there. Very, very high speed. Yeah. Oh, okay. I call it Ethernet. But anyway, HDMI out. And then your power supply. That's the American version. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. It's a big, huge bitch. Air vents on the front and back. It also lights up blue. Now, I want to show you very quickly how he takes this these fins off. I call them fins. So, half of your $500 is spent on this very nifty stand. Completely, this is so Sony. This is so Sony. Completely pointless. You have the whole idea. You can bury the screw inside of it. It comes with its own little wrench. I mean, what are the IKEA? It comes with its own little wrench. Put the screw in there, and then the reason they created this stand is because of the unorthodox size and shape of the PS5. So what happens now is to allow the PS5, you switch it over, allow the PS5 to lie horizontally. You now clip it on here, boink, and then you can lie the and it's a big horse to be off. So if anyone was wondering if they could lie it down flat, there you go. But it needs the stand. It cannot stand on its own. You lose that thing and it's gonna go like fucking this, you know? And if you have the disc version and it starts doing that. Okay, watch very closely as he peels this stuff off. Little bit of force, but he gets it on. Now this, people have been saying this could allow for really cool face plates for the PS5. Kind of what we had on the OG Xbox 360 with the cool little face plates on the front. It's very cool. So there you go. You got the fan. Not that big, but it's a very thick fan that goes through both sides. Intake and outtake. They've also these little triangular holes here, like here and up there. Those triangular holes are actually dust catchers, and they allow you, if you were to bring like a small vacuum, to vacuum just their areas. Apparently, it would clean the whole console just from those, just from sucking on those little parts. Anyway, so that's cool. I'm always very wary about. I never use a vacuum anywhere near any technology, because even after plugging them out, you've got residual energy, you've got static energy build up. You just don't want to fuck with that. Also, if you vacuum a fan and you make it spin backwards, that's it. The fan is used. You've now fucked the fan. Think about like when you have a bike on the chain. You know the chain on your little bicycle? When you fuck it up and go backwards, the chain breaks and falls off. The fans are the same. They've been programmed to go one direction. By going the other direction, it kind of almost knocks it off its spool almost. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm not going to go through all this. Just showing you that there is a little bit of clever design in this for sure. But wait to see how what the Xbox have done. Oh my god. Pretty impressive as well. I got to give it up to Microsoft. The form factor, the tininess of the Xbox Series X to have that kind of power. This is the SSD expansion hub I was talking about. So you see he went through a little bit of a job to get through, but as long as you just, you know, you're going to, I don't know, the movement he does for the flaps, it's almost like a slide down, then pull up. It's something you might get used to. I can see people bending and breaking shit, and we'll see. So yeah. See, this guy's so meticulous. Every little piece of this table gets used. It's crazy. I hope you're all having a good fucking weekend. See, look, when I look at this, man, it gives me absolute anxiety. I can't. People might go, oh no, this is console SSMR or ASMR. What's SSMR? You never know. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Alright. Let's see how big this fan is. What do you see? So it's not quite big in diameter, but in terms of depth, it's a huge bitch. So this is the Ultra HD Ultra Blu-ray drive. They've also created this chassis. See that chassis there? They've created that to lower disc noise. That's really cool. We'll see how this works in you know, in practice, over time, over wear and tear. That's really cool. Because this noise can be a pain in the ass. Alright, where's the fan? Let me get the fan. He's going to go over the chips now. He'll pull out the motherboard itself. Very, very big. Very big. You got the AMD Ryzen Zen 2. It's obviously their version of it. Just goes to show AMD really did just swoop in there, you know. We're a long ways since the old days of the Jaguar. That's great to see. Like, Ryzen is incredible. If you're shopping around for CPUs for a PC build, like, you can't go wrong with Ryzen. They're already talks of the new generation of Ryzen. Alright, there's the internal SSDs, obviously. They're all split up into their own chips. For anyone who's kind of, you know, those silicone hounds or whatever you want to call them, people who love that stuff, I wouldn't know half the stuff he's talking about. Alright, so now he comes on to the liquid metal, which is so cool. This is so cool. Look at that. It's like Terminator. It's like Terminator. TTRM, thank you for the host, my dude. How cool is that? Now, people are worrying about there has been technology in the past, not necessarily consoles, that have used the liquid metal. This is the heatsink. That's the heatsink. Look how big that thing is. Holy shit. That is the length of the console almost. They're not fucking around. Obviously, it's got liquid cooling and all that. But damn, look at that heatsink. Jeez, that's a big, huge bitch. Alright, that's the power supply. What was the last thing I wanted to show? So there you go, that's what it looks like when he tears it down. Pretty impressive. Well done, sir. I can't get over that heatsink. Alright, now let me try and find the Xbox ones. I know what they did. Xbox invited people over to their studios, and Digital Foundry were one of them, and they offered them a chance to basically assemble the Xbox Series X themselves and see how far you would get. And of course, Digital Foundry being those mad lads, they put it together. I think they invited, I think it's Richard Ledbetter. I think he's basically the main guy over. I hope I didn't get his name wrong. He's a good dude. The dude knows his stuff for sure. For sure. So it's really cool to see these teardowns. You know, I know you might not want to look at it in this state. It's like looking at your console naked. I always thought it was really, really cool. Let me see. I'm gonna load up the Digital Foundry video, but yeah, go check them out if you're into that stuff. There he is there himself. Yeah, it is Ledbetter, Rich Ledbetter. Okay, he's cool. All right, I just want to fast forward to the part where he basically gets invited. Here he is assembling the Series X. Let me just move it down a little bit. Skirt. Really cool. So they gave him the option of putting it together. You can see like how small. Look at that. You just saw the motherboard of the PlayStation, which was almost the length and breadth of the console. Look at that. Now they have a dual motherboard solution for the Xbox Series X. He's going to flip this over now, and you'll see the far side. The silicon is obviously on the chip is on that side. He's going to turn it over. Go on. Good man. I just thought this was so cool. The form factor is amazing. Now, will this create heat? That's the question. God, look at that back in the old days of the 360. My God. You can see how almost archaic it looks. It looks like you're looking at an old fucking Apple or something. Apple II. But yeah, Jesus. And you see how small the heatsink was? My goodness. The red ring of death was an inevitable thing to happen. A costly mistake. I had one go red ring on me as well. Over the pain goes, oh shit. The whacked finger that hurts like the dickens. I like that. No one says that anymore. Yeah, hopefully you'll be alright. Sometimes you feel like it's that kind of a weird month or something, or the planets are aligning weird. You get kind of accidental. I've had that. You have similar things that keep happening. General problem with a fan going the opposite direction that doesn't look like liquid coolant to me. Liquid snake. All right. Let's just see. I just want to show the part where he puts it all together, and then he puts it into the Series X. It's unreal. Yeah, go check those guys. This is the expansion card. So they teamed up with Seagate. You know, it looks great, but that tiny little thing in his hands is over $250. Whoo! Madness, I tell you. But as OGG was saying there, you can get like what was it? Half a terabyte. They always have unusual sizes for
50p.
SSDs.
Fuck you, bastard.
They always have weird fucking sizes for it. I don't know why. There you go. It's cool. So someone actually did a teardown of the tiny little SSD as well, and it has its own version of cooling, because SSDs get super fucking hot. Super hot. Alright, let's see where he puts it into the box. I thought it was so clever. So he's put it all together. There's the fan at the top. So they have a massive fan as well, and the way that it works there is it'll be drawing air the whole way up to up the console. There's the stand, obviously. But yeah, it's really cool. Just really cool. He was the only one who was able to assemble it together. Anyway, there we go. This is the way. I just loved watching him put into it. There's something about it. Very ASMR. Just like the top of it looks like it has a green light coming from, but it's not. Like whichever console you pick, I don't think you can go wrong. Watch. Boom! Look at that. My God. That's insane. That form factor is insane. Everything being so close together probably would make you a bit nervous, but I promise you, that's just how they are. If you think about it, we are just encasing all this stuff just into something that looks a little bit nicer. It just generates massive amounts of heat. Okay, next, what have we got here? If it would just load. Alright, here's the... now we're moved on to Xbox, obviously. See, lovely transition. Thank you very much. Thank you. So this is the quick resume feature of the Xbox Series X, and I think the Series S has it too. It basically allows you to keep 6 games, as far as I've been told, 6 games running at the same time. It's crazy. Almost as if you were to pause a game, move over and play another one, and then go straight over to it. But it's all done within, 3 to 5 seconds. It's crazy. Obviously, this video is not in real time, but I have seen it in real time. You're also allowed to plug the console out, and still the quick resume works. Recently, Alana Pierce of IGN fame, she's with Funhouse now. She likes to do streams and videos herself. She has one, because she's part of you know, the press and that. And she did it live. She did it live. Even her Elgato like switched off. She plugged the console out, lifted it up to the camera. It was pretty impressive. Plugged it back in and resumed playing Ori within 5 seconds. Exactly where she left off. No bullshit. No Microsoft bullshit. Nothing. All you really have to do is this little splash screen here. But it's pretty insane. 6 games. Like, quick resume is going to be amazing. For someone like me as a streamer who likes to switch games as I'm playing, that's brilliant. And the fact that it holds it together, so that's obviously more of the SSD showing off its power. The true, real only difference between these consoles, in my personal opinion, like, people can say whatever they want about teraflops and that stuff it all remains to be seen without the games. So to me, the only difference is the games. Games sell the console. The price sells the console. That's it. Everything else is an after effect. You can say 20 teraflops, I don't give a shite. But you've got none to show for it. And right now, the big exclusives for... Jenna, thank you for the host. That's my final offer. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I think the Series S would be a great idea for you, Dynamo. I'm thinking of picking one up. It is, unfortunately, Series S does not have a disc drive, but a Game Pass, you could never buy another game again and be absolutely satisfied with Game Pass. Everything will transfer over. They're talking over 1,000 games thanks to you know, their backwards compatibility that they've been touting the whole generation. You know, say what you want about not wanting to play old games. I think that's nonsense. You know, PC has been doing it since the dawn of the fucking PC, and to go back and play something you haven't touched in 10 years, 20 years, and have that nostalgia and get that resolution and frame rate bump that comes with the Series X, basically how a PC would handle it. That's what we're talking about. They're just PCs at the end of the day. They really are, just with custom stuff inside. It's like a custom PC, really is. But yeah, the games are what's going to sell it. And speaking of which, the launch lineup for the PlayStation, we're going to have... I'm nearly finished now. We're going to wrap it up now in a second. We're going to have, obviously, Demon's Souls is the big one. The remake from Bluepoint, who remade Shadow of the Colossus. Absolutely expertly done. Incredible stuff. They are working on Demon's Souls, which was an old PS3 game. The game that kicked off Dark Souls as we know it, you know. Before that, they renamed it Dark Souls so they could put it on Xbox because PlayStation wasn't having none of it. But PlayStation didn't even believe in Demon's Souls. They did not publish it outside of Japan. They had to get Atlas involved, believe it or not. But here we are. The demand was high enough. Bluepoint took on the challenge. You know, a non-Japanese developer handling something as incredible as a From Software game. And it looks like they pulled it off. Like, I am super impressed. Yeah. So that's the big game. That's PS5 only. There's Goji. Goji will tell you way more of it than I ever would. This man he's a legend. He's damn good at playing them. I suck. But yeah, that's the only one. Now they'll have Sackboy: The Little Big Adventure, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Destruction All Stars, and Astro's Playroom, which is a beautiful built-in game to show off all the cool stuff. You might have seen people playing it. Yeah, it's really fucking cool. It's really cool. Alright, so here's a little bit of Demon's Souls. This apparently is all in-game, which blows my fucking mind all over the kitchen floor. But yeah, I'm excited. So that's a nice... Now, as I said, this is the only game that's PS5 only. Everything else can be played on PS4, including, you know, Spider-Man Miles Morales. So whatever you want, whatever you do buy, will be waiting for you on next gen. The next gen upgrades on both sides have been very good, thankfully. So it looks like Japan Studio have been helping out a little bit too. Japan Studio, that's Sony. That is Sony themselves. That's their main bread and butter. But Bluepoint, unbelievable developer. Bluepoint also did the Uncharted collection as well. Incredible developer. It's about time they got their dues. They're one of the best, like, remake studios. Let's be honest, remake and porting studios. I hope one day they get their massive big budget. Like, Sony should just drop the money now. Buy them. This is like their 4th Sony only game. The Uncharted collection, Metal Gear Solid collection. This is meant to be gameplay. I couldn't believe this. This is real-time gameplay. This is insane. This is like something you'd see in a movie or something when they're playing a video game. You're like, dude, that's CG. Absolutely insane. I cannot get over this. It's so fluid. There's already talks of pre-order bonus weapons and that, so I like to see that. As much as you don't want to see pre-order weapons, the fact that there is an option means that they've tried to stay as bloody true as they can. Watch this now, with the quickness of this fast travel. Boom! That's real time. That is real time. Oh my god. I think they've just pulled what you do, Goji, and they've turned off the UI to make it more immersive, and my goodness is it. Yo, my state, hello! How's it going? How's it going, Eric? Happy Saturday. We just did a quick little podcast. I'm just kind of wrapping up now. As for the launch games for the Xbox Series X, Halo was delayed, we know that. So that's a huge blow. But they're kind of pushing third-party games, you know. So Yakuza 7, if you're into those games, seems to be one of the big draws that won't be appearing on PS5 for a little while. So they're probably money-hatted that a little bit. They've also got pretty much every other exclusive that was on the Xbox One now up-res, you know, 4K 60. So they're really pushing for that. But with all the acquisitions that Xbox have done, you're buying into the future. You're buying into a dream. And I well believe, you know, this time 3 years, this time 5 years, the Xbox will be unrecognizable. They will be just polluting us with games. I can't wait. I'm actually, even with the Bethesda acquisition, I'm still more excited for what Obsidian are doing. Obsidian with their Avowed, Grounded, Outer Worlds 2. I heard they're already in pre-production of the Outer Worlds 2. Amazing studio. Maybe one day, fingers crossed, we'll get Fallout New Vegas 2. I'll take anything. Please, sir, can I have some more? But I hope you're all having a good Saturday. Just thought, the whole idea of this was to break down the UI of the PS5. But you know me, any old excuse to talk about these things. How cool is that? What was his name? I'm trying to think now. Demon Souls. What the hell? He had a name. It was like the Harbinger or something. God damn, what was his name? Yeah, New Vegas 2. That's what everyone was talking about. Now that they own Bethesda and Obsidian. And I even heard that John Carmack wants to go back and do a couple of games. Now, because he basically said, now that Bethesda are not a bunch of assholes, you can just go through Microsoft. But yeah, damn. Pretty special. We wouldn't have Dark Souls, we wouldn't have Sekiro, we wouldn't have Bloodborne without Demon Souls. Pay your damn respects. Hell yes. The story behind Demon Souls, just in terms of development and Sony's non-support and that. God, it's such a great story. It's such a great story. We were this close to never, like, having From Software like we know them now. Demon Souls, they basically, Sony told them to go away and make whatever you want. We don't care. We don't care. And on the slide, they were making, like, a lot of, like, they were making, was it the Metal Core? What the hell was it? Armored Core series. I think it was for Xbox and that. So these little guys pretty much hunkered down. You got fucking Miyazaki doing his thing, and they made Demon Souls. And Sony played it, they didn't like it. They couldn't, it was too hard, all this stuff. So when it launched in Japan, it didn't do too well, and they refused to publish it in Europe or in America. They basically just said, fuck it, it's done. We don't care. We spent money on it, whatever. Isn't that crazy? It was a lost cause in Sony's eyes. But along came a spider. Along came Atlas and Namco Bandai. And From Software believed in it, and they pushed it, and it got into the hands, and it became the cult hit that it is. And now we get to see it remade, given the proper love and marketing, and it's now a launch title for the PS5. Can you believe that? Nowhere in anyone's dreams would they thought. Like, it was a forgotten game for years, besides the true fans of From Software, and, you know, like, it really was just like a little cult hit. It's crazy. Like, anyone who played Dark Souls and started with Dark Souls were like, what's a Demon Souls? What are you talking? So, yeah, it's crazy. So, to make Dark Souls, they wanted to put it on more platforms, obviously. And Sony was like, not without the magic word. So, they made it Dark Souls. They changed the name, but it held on to some of the stuff, right? A lot of the stuff. Oh, that's so good. It's so good. All right, what else can we look at? I suppose I'll go back to the UI for anyone who's missed it. We'll close off on them showing off the new UI. The most exciting thing about the new UI so far, they show a lot and show very little, as usual, you know. But the most exciting thing for me is the the store being integrated into the goddamn menu. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I ain't no longer waiting like what feels like an age. We'll just let this play. But anyway, that's kind of it. So, like, for any of you guys who are waiting or getting it day one, what are you most excited for? For me, it's a no-brainer. Like I want that hardware improvement. I've never had the option of like boost mode or performance mode coming from an OG launch PS4, and it's loud as hell. You know, I can't stream with it in the room. It has to stay outside the room like a bad dog. This is how it's gonna start. This is exactly what happens when you press that power button. It goes straight back into the game. So for the UI demo, they showed off a lot of Sackboy's Little Big Adventure, which looks fantastic. It's already got like a little Super Mario World style hub world, you know. Anyway, really, really cool. Yeah, New Vegas too. That would be amazing. Or that New Miami as well, Eric. That'd be cool. But yeah, they're definitely Obsidian are definitely working on Outer Worlds too. But pre-production, so you know.
So there may be a few small
2 years off probably.
changes once the console launches in November.
Oh, this is fun. Thank you for joining me, everyone. What is Dark Souls, right? What is a poo-poo?
Thanks, Nishino-san. Welcome to your new PlayStation 5 console experience. This time, we've started.
They're going for that PS3 orchestral vibe, and I like that.
PlayStation Network, so let's log in.
Okay, went straight back into the game.
In
Boom!
this case, I've resumed right where I left off in Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
Impressive.
And here, we're looking at PlayStation 5's Control Center.
So it opened up to the Control Center, not the home screen.
Let's take a moment and look around.
It's a good demo.
Center is always one tap of the PlayStation button away. It provides immediate access to almost
Save for an next string again. Yeah, dude. This is what I was saying. I just made that big point a while ago that at the end of the day, say what you want, but games sell consoles. So Microsoft, you know, there's still a lot to prove with the Xbox Series X. It's nice to acquire them studios, but until the games start showing, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Just resumed. The Control Center is showing a special card.
What I love is we're now living in an age where a $499 console is nothing to scream at. I couldn't believe I was expecting outrage. I'm like, how the fuck? But both Sony and Microsoft kind of got away with it.
Let's check out one of
you know, they'll probably lose a little bit of money on each. That's always been the way. The money is in the software, especially digital. They get 90% of that.
Let's get an example.
Whereas the physical, you gotta pay off everybody. Everyone gets their cut.
With a tap of the
like the Mafia.
Button, I'm back to playing the
By the time one physical edition of a $70 game gets back to the developer, they may see maybe $20 of that, maybe $12 of it. I've read some serious articles and people have done homework about it, and you're like, oh my god, that's how much they get from each copy. It's crazy.
Active and suggested by the system.
After all that hard work.
A Big Adventure as an example.
That's why it pays to be a first-party studio, because your bills are paid for you. Yeah, for the most part, right? That's pretty cool. So these are these activities they're talking about. The game is running in the background the whole time, no messing around. That's Sackboy: A Little Big Adventure, right there. I'm still gonna call it Little Big Adventure. I don't care.
Giving me an idea how long.
That's the little hub world. You see, each one of those little lines are a level. You know how it goes. That's cool. The activities
directly to that place in the game.
They actually, yeah, you press on it, it takes you to that part in the game, which is kind of crazy.
For another example,
I don't know if this is like trophies. It almost feels different to trophies. But yeah, this control center, you're gonna see a lot of that, but it's basically the sidebar of the PS4 that you've got. You know, when you hold the PS button down, you get your little sidebar for your party and your audio and all that stuff. That's what the control center is. The actual home screen is far closer to PS4. Anyway, pretty cool. How much all this stuff will be used, activities and help videos and that, we'll see. There's been a lot of features down the line that haven't exactly panned out too well. Just what I love is that while he's watching this video and everything, the game is still going on in the background. Really cool. So you can do picture-in-picture. You can definitely see this becoming a thing. This picture, this sidebar, almost like the snap feature on Xbox. That's what I was saying. This is the bit that reminds me of that. You can see that becoming a thing with streaming. You could totally see that being the comments and chat on either side, right? Very cool. I like that they showed Sackboy. I would never have thought they'd do that. But there you go. Anyway, it's cutesy. I love it. Once the next gen consoles are running. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'm right there with you, Goji. Like, we're really gonna test out these consoles, you know, in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, when all the developers have become comfortable with it. You start to see things shine, you know. Look at the difference between. This is why I'm doing that road to PS5, to show you what the difference of the game at the start of the generation, at the end, you know. Geez, even something like from the first Last of Us, which was pretty much the end of the PS3 but start of the PS4's console generation, to The Last of Us Part 2, you know. I know that's not a great example, people didn't like the story, but holy moly, look at Red Dead 1 to Red Dead 2, one of the most beautiful games I have ever witnessed. And that goes on and on. Look at Killzone Shadowfall, which I just finished, to Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh my fucking god. That's not just a graphical leap. That's everything. It's absolutely everything. Look at Uncharted. Uncharted's come a long way as well. I hope it doesn't stay buried for too much longer.
This is another card that could be put in
yeah, look at that. So you could watch somebody streaming while you're still playing. This is great for people who like to multitask. Anyway. I missed the snap feed. Me too, dude. Okay, when it first started, I would watch Netflix in a tiny box in the corner while I was playing a video game. It was tiny and a bit impractical because you can't really see it. But it was fucking fun. The snap feature was fun. Super slow, but had so much potential. And now it looks like these guys have adopted it to a point. I don't want to compare it directly because you're going to piss everybody off. But it was never a bad idea. Anyway, let's see. I think you can't go wrong with either console. You know, do not worship a piece of plastic. Alright? You'll never win. You'll never win. These fanboys out there need to just really just take a look in the mirror and check themselves. Because honest to God, so silly.
Okay, I think we've got enough.
At the end of the day, if you were to be, like, you know, PC Master Race joke aside, if you really wanted to be, you know, future-proof, you would make a beast of a PC, because more of these PlayStation exclusives are going on PC. Whether it's a year later or 2 years later, whatever, you're still getting them. And then, of course, you've got the power of emulators getting better and better and better. People have PS4 emulators up and running, which is insane. And you know, Xbox Game Pass, literally the Netflix of video games, has it all on tap. 200, 300 plus games on PC, on console, pick up, play. It's such a crazy value. I'm still waiting for them to release like the mind controlling robots or something. I'm like, what's going on here? Where's the catch? This is Microsoft. Where's the catch? There's no catch. There's no catch. It's quite impressive. I'm not gonna lie. And that's only gonna climb with the xCloud. They're really pushing for xCloud on Switch and PlayStation. I know they want it, because at the end of the day, Phil Spencer and the team Xbox know that they just need to pay for that product. So more people playing. They're up to 15 million people now on Game Pass at $12 a month. That's like fucking billions of dollars. That's insane. And yeah, $12 a month, 15 million for a year. Oh my god. Yeah, you're talking about billions of dollars. Easy.
Each game has
crazy,
completely integrated,
absolutely crazy. And this is just the start. Just the start. It went from 10 million to 5 million in about 4 months. Really is just the start. I'd love to, as wacky as it would be, I'd love to one day be able to pick up my Switch and go over to like the Xbox Game Pass and play an Xbox game. That's it. I can't even spit that out. That's crazy. I'd love to see it. Anyway, cool. So that's pretty much everything. Let me just rewind back to the PS Store, because it's probably my favorite bit. Here we go. He's coming up to it now. This is him accessing the PS Store.
And from all the games you're following, including trending
media from the community. I'm sorry.
We'll be testing and learning about this feature in the US at launch, so not everyone will have this on day one. But it gives you a good idea of
Watch now. This is the PS Store. You ready?
And boom. This is PlayStation Store for PS5.
That's the store, just like that. Was that even a second?
It's not a standalone app anymore.
Thank
Browsing
God.
for new games to play will be
How much have I
easier
been
thanks to the
complaining
speed
about
of
things
PS5
being
and a
apps?
more personalized store
The
experience.
greatest downfall is things
And
being
here,
apps.
you'll be
It's
able
led
to
to
browse
lazy
the
development,
latest games and
bug
deals.
fixing,
You'll
fix
find
it later.
PS5
Good old
games and
Phil.
many backward
Phil
compatible PS4
in
games
IT.
too.
He's our
I'm
friend. He's
sad to
everybody's
say,
friend.
but we are
Mr.
almost out
Fix
of
It
time.
Later Phil.
So let's pull up Control Center one more time.
Anyway,
and tap
so
the
that's that. I
PlayStation
mean, there's
button.
nothing really else I
On our
wanted
way
to
out,
talk about
why don't
here.
we
I wanted to
quickly
break
share
those
that
two down. We
photo
know
we
the
took in
launch
destruction?
games were
Also,
less than a month
you can
away.
find recently captured
So you guys let me know. Are you going to wait? Are you going to pick it up at launch? Take a risk like my silly ass? Either way, I will have the PS5 in my hands, all going well. I will test it out. I'll stream straight from it, test out the camera, the headset, everything I can to show you guys who are in the market for one or waiting a year. I'll show you everything I can as soon as it's in my hands. It's the best I can do. Thank you for joining me, guys. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. No, we did a good job. Yeah, we did, yeah. Yeah. I only wanted to be going for like a half an hour, so there you go. Game Pass is amazing. It really fucking is. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. That was fun. That was fucking fun. Yeah, cheers. Let's see. Gotta catch it. Yeah, cheers, go. Cheers, everybody. You guys are the best. I pre-ordered Demon Souls. Cool. I missed anything else? Hold on. The only real difference between the two boxes series is 2K. Yeah, that's the only difference. Absolutely dynamite. And obviously, the Series S doesn't have a disc drive. So that's the difference, really. Yeah, dude. MS Rewards, yeah. And Game Pass. I'm right there with you. I think I might trade in my little... I have a white Sunset Overdrive Xbox One. I might trade it in for a Series S next year. We'll see. Because Game Pass is insane. And I don't even, like, use the Blu-ray player anymore. I'm mainly, like, I'll watch Netflix on my tablet or something. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, won't you? I'll be back Monday. We're going to be kicking off Watch Dogs 2, leading up to Watch Dogs Legion and Infamous Second Son. The road to PS5 continues. Have a great one. I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.